Hello students, it's day 3 for the chapter Modern Physics. In previous lecture, we have discussed radioactivity, its discovery and reason for radioactivity. Radioactivity as emission of alpha, beta and gamma radiations and properties of alpha particles, beta particles and gamma radiations. The specific objectives of today's topic are uses of radioactivity, that is uses of radioisotopes and sources of harmful radiations. The first topic for today is uses of radioactivity or uses of radioisotopes. Students, we have discussed what are radioisotopes in previous lecture also. The isotopes of some elements with atomic number greater than 82 are also found to be radioactive. They are called radioisotopes. Actually, the reason of radioactivity, we all have done it, that it is because of the huge difference between the number of neutrons and number of protons in an atom of an element. Some examples are cobalt 6027 and carbon 14-6. You can see carbon 14, it's a radioisotope, and number of protons are 6 and number of neutrons are 8. So there is a difference between number of protons and neutrons. Another example which we have discussed in previous lecture was uranium, whose atomic number is 92 and mass number is 238. Number of neutrons 146 and number of protons as atomic number is 92, so number of protons is also 92. So there is a huge gap between number of neutrons and number of protons. So they are radioisotopes. Now the first use which we are going to discuss is medical use. Many diseases such as leukemia, cancer are cured by radiotherapy. Leukemia is also blood cancer, and radiotherapy means some types of particles like alpha, beta and gamma particles are sent to the human body to kill these cells, that is cancer cells. Gamma radiations are preferably used as they are most penetrating for this process. Gamma radiations from cobalt 60 are used to treat cancer by killing the cells. These are cancer cells. In malignant tumor of the patient, malignant tumor is the worst condition of tumor. For radiotherapy, radiation must be able to penetrate the human skin. As I have already told you, gamma radiations can penetrate the most. So these radiations are used to kill the cancer cells, or they are used for radiotherapy. The salts of weak radioisotopes such as radiosodium chloride, radioiron, radioiodine are used for diagnosis. Diagnosis means to perform test. Such radioisotopes are called tracers. These tracers are used to detect the suspected brain tumors, blood clots before they become dangerous. So they are used to detect the problems at early stages. Now next is, the tracers are also used to study the natural process in human body. For example, radiosodium chloride, which is a weak radioisotope, is injected with common sodium chloride in the human body, and the radioactivity of blood at different parts of the body is tested to study the blood circulation. It's used to study the blood circulation, and the radiations are passed at different parts of the body to check whether the circulation is correct throughout the body, and this process is called radiocardiology. Third, gamma rays emitted by radioisotopes are also used to sterilize bandages, dressings, syringes and other equipments to make them free of germs. Gamma rays are also used for sterilizing purposes. This method is quicker, more reliable and cheaper than the process of sterilization by heat, as we need to only pass gamma radiations and the things will be sterilized easily. Second is scientific use. Alpha particles emitted from radioisotopes are used as projectile for nuclear reactions. The scattering of alpha particles from the nucleus helps us in estimating the size of the nucleus. That is, what is the size of alpha particle which is being ejected out from the nucleus of an atom, helps to estimate the size of that nucleus, and in understanding the nature of nuclear forces which are present in that specific nucleus of an atom. Second, the radioactive tracers are used in agriculture science to study the growth of plants by using a particular chemical manure. Example, to know how readily a plant takes in phosphate. Phosphate is a chemical fertilizer. To which part of the plant the phosphate goes. That is, uptake of fertilizer from the roots to the leaves. And phosphorus 32 is used as a chemical fertilizer. It is given to the plant, and the uses of phosphorus is mapped from emission of beta radiations from that very plant. It also improves the quality of productivity of agricultural products along with insect, pest and disease management. The age of excavated material of archaeological importance, rocks and hence of buried plants, is estimated by the study of rate of decay of carbon by beta emission. Students, this beta emission, which is none other than a radioactivity process, helps to study or to estimate the age of rocks, buried plants and remains of dead plants, and this process is called carbon dating. Another definition of carbon dating is, the carbon dating is the process of estimating the age of an object containing carbon by using a radioactive isotope carbon 14. Next is industrial use. Radioisotopes such as uranium-235-92 are used as a fuel for atomic energy reactors. This is one of a center of atomic energy. Radioisotopes are used by engineers in factories to avoid accumulation of charge. Accumulation means collection of charge on the moving parts of machines due to friction. So radioisotopes helps in removing the charge also from the moving part of machines, which has happened due to friction. The radiations emitted by radioisotope ionize the air. It provides charges in the air, which helps in removing the accumulation of charges. The ions so produced take away with them the charge accumulated on the moving parts, as I have already discussed this with you all. The ionizing effect of radiations from the radioisotopes is used for making luminescent sign, reflecting signs. You must have seen signboards, radium signboards at the side of the roads. This is none other than the ionizing effect of radiations from radioisotopes. Knowing the penetrating power of beta radiations emitted from radioisotopes, beta radiations which are emitted from radioisotopes, a radioactive element, they are used to control the thickness of a paper. As if beta particle penetrate through it, we can note the thickness of a paper. And I am making the second paper, and if beta particle is not able to penetrate, that means the thickness is different. So they are able to detect or to control the thickness of the paper, plastic and metal sheets during their manufacture. Our next topic for today is sources of harmful radiations. The main sources of harmful radiations are, first is radioactive fallout from nuclear power plants, second is nuclear waste, and third is other sources such as cosmic radiation and X-rays. Students, this is a picture of nuclear power plant, and these are the cosmic radiations which are entering into Earth's atmosphere. Now, first topic for today, under sources of harmful radiations, radioactive fallout from the nuclear power plants. Students, the nuclear power plants are now a major source of electricity in the world. If there is an accident in the reactor of a power plant, a large amount of radioactive material and radiations will escape out into the atmosphere, which will cause a great damage to the environment and to the mankind. 3 such accidents have already occurred. First, in USA on March 28, 1979. Second, Ukraine in USSR on April 26, 1986. And third, in Japan on March 11, 2011. These are the pictures of USA on March 28, 1979. There was a misleading work done by a radioactive power plant operator, which resulted in the emission of radiations in the atmosphere, and this is Ukraine in USSR on April 26, 1986. A large amount of damage was seen here in Ukraine as there was a leakage of radioactive material. Now next is nuclear waste. The fuel tissues in nuclear power reactors, the fuel rods in nuclear power reactors are rejected when their activity decreases below a certain level or when they are not that much efficient. Then they become a nuclear waste. These rods are still radioactive. Either their efficiency has been reduced, but they are still radioactive and the source of harmful radiations also, and are the source of harmful radiations. Therefore, they should not be dumped in open garbage as they can emit the alpha, beta and gamma radiations, which are very harmful for us and for the atmosphere. Next is the last harmful source, that is cosmic radiations, which are entering into Earth's atmosphere, and X-rays. The cosmic radiations enter the Earth's atmosphere from the sun and from the outer space. They contain a large number of high energy particles. High energy particles, or we can say accelerated particles, out of which a large number of charged particles are deviated by Earth's magnetic field. Many charged particles are being deviated. They are being sent back by Earth's magnetic field. But still a substantial amount of uncharged radiations, the ones which are uncharged, like gamma rays, they are uncharged, X-rays, they are also uncharged. They reach the Earth's atmosphere. Some of these radiations are quite harmful for human beings. Apart from this, the high energy particle accelerators. These high energy particle accelerators are the machines that accelerate or speeds up electrons, protons, that is charged particles. They also produce the harmful X-rays or other types of rays. Thank you for today.